for the serious gamer.
What's up, Next Gen Tactics, NGT-Games? This is geirbiscohn. Got for you some mag today as my next installment of the NGT-Games Director Contest. And pretty excited about this video, this gameplay. It's not like it's not anything too spectacular. I mean, like, I know right off the bat, let me tell you guys here that mag is not necessarily the most popular game, and I understand this. But I will say that I really love this game. I've been playing it since it came out. It's no game has sucked this many hours out of my daily life than ever. No Call of Duty has taken this many hours. No other game. So I encourage you, if you guys haven't checked out mag, I would definitely encourage you to do so. It can be a little rough. It can be a little rough in the beginning. You know, rough start. It's kind of tough to get into it for low levels. It's kind of tough, but I assure you, it's worth it in the end. And it's a game, I will say, that is best played with people, with a group, with a clan, with friends. I have a clan that I play with regularly. You can see that there are many of us in this game, and it's just tons of fun. And this video is actually, for those of you familiar with the game, it's going to look a little different. Because this was recorded long before patch 2.0 came out. There have been lots of changes to the game since this video has been recorded. A lot of changes with the knife, a lot of changes with weapons and damages. Some changes with loadouts, but I don't think they're really going to show up in this video too much. But this video is going to be a long one, guys. It's just kind of the nature of this game. Games are long. This game is a game of domination, which is the kind of the flagship game mode of this game of mag. It features 256 players, which sounds overwhelming when you think about it, but it's really not, because the game is compartmentalized, where the way the map is laid out, there's really only 32 players taking on 32 players in any given area at any given time. And what is really cool about the idea of there being 256 players is that each platoon, which is 32 players, so I'm on Valor and I'm playing against Raven. You can see how this, actually that's a great segue right there. You saw how there were 4 bunkers on that map, and if you want you can go back and rewind and show it. And how each side of the map has that same kind of bunker line. The enemy spawns in those bunkers, and as an attacker, my job is to lead. I'm actually the platoon leader in this game, which I will talk about a little bit later. But my job is to lead my platoon. My platoon's job is to break through this bunker line, break through the defenses, and ultimately get through to the letters. The letters are the main objectives of the game. The story behind this game mode, I guess, the reason why. The point of the game, of course, is just to get in, shoot people, have fun. It's a team-based, objective-based, but the story behind the actual, what you're seeing going on is that Raven is a private military corporation, and so is Valor. There are 2 private military corporations that are in competition with each other for world contracts when it comes to, government. It's pretty cool, a pretty cool backdrop for a war game. But basically what this is all about is my team wants to get into this other faction, other PMC's base, and destroy their fuel reserves, and to cripple them in this ultimate shadow war that's going on. So these letters are fuel pumps. We don't have the letters opened up yet, but the whole goal of domination, there are 3 sets of objectives. The first 2 are called burn-off towers, the second 2 are called cooling towers, and the final 2 are called, are just the letters. My team happens to be, I believe we're on C and D, but that will come out later on in the video for sure. The whole point of the mode is to hold the letters. In order to get to the letters, you need to take the 2 burn-off towers at the same time. So you need to coordinate with all the squad leaders. There's 8 men in a squad. Each squad has a leader, and each platoon of 32 has a leader. So I'm the platoon leader, and my job is to coordinate with the squad leaders, to coordinate with each squad of 8, to take out the bunkers at the proper times, and then to capture the burn-off towers at the proper times, so that each burn-off tower is taken at the same time as the other one, or at least you can take it and hold it for, you know, as long as you want, as long as the next one goes down and gets taken while you're holding the first one, because they need to be taken at the same time in order to unlock the second set of towers, which are cooling towers. And those again at the same time, they need to be taken at the same time to unlock the letters. And the letters can be held in any order as many times as you want. All of the letters do is fill up the damage meter at the top of the screen. And once that damage meter, if that damage meter fills up within the 30-minute time slot of the game, then you've won, and if it doesn't, then you've lost. It's really as simple as that. So games are long. They're 30 minutes long in this particular mode. It's tons of fun. I mean, it's just chaos everywhere. Each platoon leader and each squad leader has various tactical abilities that are airstrikes or sensor sweeps or UAVs, stuff like that. UAVs will show up red dots, and you'll notice at some point during the video, I can't remember if it happened already. I believe it has, but as a platoon leader, I get a precision strike, which has the ability to drop or take out one particular asset, whether it be a bunker, a gate, a mortar battery, the AAA. Can't do the AAA because the AAA has to, which is the anti-air defense, that needs to be taken out before I can use any of my abilities. So there are a couple components and a couple ways to attack each map. The way we did it in this map was we got the AAA down first, which allowed me to take out a bunker. And really, once you take out one bunker, you know, that's the forward spawn of the enemy. So each bunker, as soon as each bunker falls, it's that much harder to defend the rest of the bunkers, because there's a squad of 8 spawning out of each bunker. And if you take out one bunker, you know, that's one less squad defending the front line. And the key to this map, which is Raven's map, this can really be taken into any map as any faction attacking. There are a couple ways to go about attacking. Then they both can be extremely effective depending on what your playstyle is, depending on the level of communication that your squad and platoon are having, the level of coordination that your platoon leader is having with your squad leaders, and stuff like that. So you can either flank and take out one of the far side bunkers. So what I like to do when I'm playing with my group of friends in our clan UVO, you'll have your squads will spawn kind of in relation to a certain bunker, which would either be the left or the right side. And what I find a really good way to attack this map is to take your squad, and sometimes you can switch the spawn, sometimes you can't. It's a little unclear. They keep changing things with patches, and some things seem to be a little glitchy when it comes to the general spawn areas. But generally, if you can take your squad and spawn them on the opposite side from where you're supposed to be, and stack up more than one group on one of the far side bunkers, whether it be left or right, depending on where your initial spawn was, if you can overwhelm one bunker with, you know, just numbers, sheer numbers, you'll take that bunker down, you'll take the next bunker down, and you'll absolutely sweep across, just taking out bunker by bunker. Now, one of the challenges on Raven's map is that depending on what letters you're attacking, the map will actually be divided by this canal, and there's ships in the middle, and that's where the AAA is, up on that ship. On those particular sides, a really good strategy is to take out the AAA first, because if you get that AAA down first, and really this can go for any map, just as much there, because it's just really comes down to the two ways to attack. And like I said, you can flank and take out bunkers, which is really effective if you can organize your platoon. Definitely doing the flanking and going for a bunker definitely takes a level of teamwork that you may not always find. And here's my precision strike. See, I'm dropping it right here on a gate. Oh no, maybe I'm not. Yes, I am. Well, I'm going for a strafing run. The precision strike, what that would have done is it would have taken out that gate. Normally on a gate or on a bunker or on a AAA or on a mortar battery or a sensor array, they have a power supply, and you'll see that's the area where you go down and you plant your charges on, and you have to defend your charge for 15-20 seconds or so, and then it'll take out the bunker or whatever asset you planted those charges on. The platoon leader's precision strike is able to take out an asset straight away, no planting. It just boom, it's gone. But what I did actually back there was I used a strafing run. See, here goes the precision strike. I'm gonna drop it. Oh, I can't because the AAA's up. See, that means the AAA's up. So now, see that blue triangle there is actually headed to try to get the AAA out again. Usually, the AAA is a really big part of domination and acquisition also, because it also involves a AAA. But domination, if that AAA is still up, your platoon leaders and your squad leaders, well, at least your platoon leader, because each quarter of the map has its own AAA. It's really important because that allows your leaders to call in those strikes, and you'll notice if you go back to where I called in that strafing run, it's huge because you can drop that strafing run, or squad leaders will have a cluster bomb, which is basically a one-time barrage of bombs, whereas the strafing run is actually it's a three passes by a strafing run, and you can just mow down enemies as they're spawning, as they're running from their spawn building to the letters. You can really cause some trouble with those strikes. So it's really key to get that AAA down, especially because if you can't get the level of communication and cooperation needed by your platoon to take out the bunkers from side to side, it can really be a big help to have even just one, maybe two guys, maybe your whole squad, depending on how the match is going. You have play it by ear in most cases, because each platoon is different. You never know, unless of course, like now with patch 2.0, there is clan deploy, which actually allows you to deploy up to 128 people from the same clan. So we've been using clan deploy. It's actually quite a bit of fun, but right now with patch 2.0 there are some freezing issues with the game. Zipper assures us that they're rolling out some fixes to those issues, but overall it's a really good patch. I'll talk about that in a little bit, but clan deploy allows you to basically just have more people in a game, versus when this game was recorded, the maximum group size was 8, but there were certain glitches you could do to get more people in a group. But that's neither here nor there, because like I said, it really depends. Each platoon is different depending on if there are any other clans in your group, or in your platoon rather, because it's all it's all random. It's all based on who's queuing up for the game mode at the same time. So if you happen to have good clans in your platoon and they're working together, then that's great. Your chances are, of course, elevated in getting the communication, getting the teamwork, pulling out the win. But if you have a lot of randoms, it can be a lot tougher. But in domination, a lot of people don't think so, but in domination, you can definitely have one squad really make a difference. Hopefully, it all depends on if your squad can get the platoon leader in it or not, because the platoon leadership is all chosen randomly based on certain stats. Whether or not the leader has a mic gives you a better chance of being chosen to be a leader. But if your squad has a platoon leader in it, you definitely have a much greater chance of pulling out, at least doing your part as a platoon. Because if you can get your AAA down, if you can take your squad and take them up the middle and get the AAA down, providing this is providing the flanking isn't working, or providing you can't get the teamwork from your platoon to do the flanking on a bunker. Once you get that AAA down, your platoon leader goes ahead and use that precision strike, and you take out. Now, if this is the case and you can't get your platoon to flank, you can't get your platoon to cooperate, you really need to rely on your platoon leader and his precision strike to help you take down the bunkers. You definitely want to take out a bunker that is central, one of the two that are in the middle, because what that'll do is that'll cut off, it'll separate the bunker line, versus taking out, because if you can take out one in the middle, then you probably have a better chance of taking out the lone bunker. So you've got 4 bunkers in a row, and you take out either the second to the left or second to the right, that'll leave then 2 bunkers on one side and 1 bunker on the other side. That 1 bunker will be a lot easier to take down than the 2. So you take down the lone bunker, and that cripples a whole side of the platoon, a whole side of the defense. And then from there, you can use your cluster bombs or your strafing runs to take out enemies that are covering the other bunkers, or you can use them on the spawn. But from there, it's fairly simple. Again, depending on your squad's level of communication, to take out the rest of the bunkers. Now, if you're playing with a squad full of randoms, which is typical of Valor, Valor's randoms aren't the greatest. So, by the way, if you are a Valor player out there, or if you're not a Valor player, if you're interested in Mag, if you're on Raven or Sever, and you want to help Valor out, go ahead and vet over to Valor and help us out, because we need some help these days. But Valor typically has a lot of randoms, and it can definitely be difficult to rally the troops, so to speak. But so that's kind of a key reason to use a microphone. Microphone is absolutely key in this game, especially if you want to be able to have your team work together in such a way that'll produce results. Because you can charge that AAA all day long by yourself, and if you're not getting anywhere by yourself and you're not using your mic to tell your platoon where you're going, what you're doing, you're not going to get the support from your teammates. It's really just kind of as simple as that. And one of the reasons being just because, at least, it's not quite as prevalent as it was pre-patch 2.0, but before patch 2.0 it was definitely a huge thing where you would find that one player on the enemy team, if he was a ninja enough, he could get behind your entire squad and pretty much knife everyone and take them out. So, you know, having a mic for stuff as simple as that is really helpful, because then all you got to do is, if you're the first guy to go down, you start yelling to your team, "Hey guys, there's a guy back here knifing us all. Turn around!" And chances are, a lot fewer of your players are going to die because of that. If, of course, I mean, that's just having a mic. It's a mystery to me at sometimes why there are players who play this game without mics. I mean, there are definitely players who are good, who are really good, and don't play with mics because, you know, they like to play the game alone, and that's fine. But if you're a relatively, if you're not a good player, you know, you can be the most valuable you can be to your team is simply calling out enemy positions, wearing your mic, healing your teammates, and that goes hand in hand with having a mic, because you don't ever want to heal your teammates unless, of course, like if you can't manage to kill a bunch of enemies and then heal your teammate, then in that situation it might be a good idea to heal your teammate in front of a group of enemies. I never really like being healed in front of enemies. I find that when I get picked up and healed, revived in front of a group of enemies, I just get killed right away, get put right back down. But there are certainly players out there who are capable of, who are really good. There's definitely some in our clan who you'll revive them in front of 6-7 enemies, and they'll end up taking most of them out. But you won't know whether or not they're capable of doing that unless you're, you know, communicating with your microphone, and so are they. So that's just kind of a really one reason, or one kind of example of how a microphone can be really helpful in this game. Also, if you're a squad leader or a platoon leader, or if you check the box that says you want to go for squad or platoon leader, please have a mic. I can't stress enough how important it is you have a mic in those two roles, because you'll see on my screen I'm the platoon leader. So, like right now, there's a little red symbol next to my name, keeps popping up on the right hand, right above the list of my teammates' names. That is the indicator that I'm talking to the whole platoon, because what the platoon leader can do is he can communicate, like actually talk, he can broadcast to the entire platoon. So all 32 players in the platoon are actually, every time that little red symbol pops up with my name, every time that happens, that means I'm talking, and everyone in the platoon, all 32 players, can hear my voice. So that can be really helpful. If you have a platoon leader who knows what to do, you can be coordinating, just saying, you know, I want Alpha Squad to take out the AAA, while Bravo, Charlie, and Delta are ready to take out this lone bunker as soon as I drop the middle bunker with my precision strike as soon as the AAA goes down. And it's really, a lot of people don't realize it, but it's stuff as simple as that just having a microphone allows you to do. And it's just really important in a game this massive, with this scale, you know, this level of teamwork is just, and there's no greater joy, I guess. There's nothing more fun than having a team using their mics and communicating and just playing as a team and winning. But actually, here's something I want to talk about too while this is going on. I'm taking D. I'm all alone, you can see. This actually is a lot harder to do now in patch 2.0 because gun bullet damage has actually all been increased across the board. It's a lot harder to do stuff like this, to just knife people. The knife has got a drastic, I don't want to say nerf, because it's something that a lot of people really wanted to happen. The knife is a little bit OP. As you can see, I'm just stomping through enemies in this area. I'm taking D. I took a whole letter by myself. I got it fragoed, which is a fragmentary order. Squad leaders can designate fragos. Actually, if you are part of NGT-Games, if you're subscribed to NGT-Games, you'll know that a while back I did a really long video. It was a 30-minute full game of domination on defense as Sever, and I talk about a lot of stuff in that video, defense tactics, plus a lot of stuff that squad leaders can do. But one of the main things that squad leaders do is frago, and that's just designate orders. If you are in the area that your squad leader has designated as an order, you'll actually get double XP. So that's what we're seeing back there. But since that was me ramboing off, I was able to hold D for a few seconds. It was just something I wanted to try to do. I don't suggest going Rambo very much unless you're in a situation like that where you know you can do it. But one thing that's pretty key in domination is knowing when to take what letters and how, and not necessarily how, but like when is, I guess, a better way to put it. It's a lot easier to have the whole platoon go to one letter and then move to the second letter. In this particular part of the map, the letters are actually separate in different buildings, but in all the letters on Sever's map and all the letters on Valor's map are in the same, or at least in the same area. So this, again, Raven's map is a unique map in that it's divided by that canal in the middle. So it's a little bit different in this map, but it still can be done because it's got that. If you go back, I'll probably even go through it again. There's a bridge, like a little bridge area that kind of goes through underneath where the hull of the ship is. You can pretty easily overwhelm one of the letters with your whole platoon, take the letter, and then move from there to the next letter, because really one platoon holding their letters for a big chunk of the game can actually make a really big difference. As you can see, we've got quite a few letters on our company. The company is the whole 128 player company. As you can see, we won. It was a good game. Hopefully you liked the video. I think I got a couple minutes here to talk still, but it really showcases the platoon leader and just kind of the best way to go about attacking a map. But to take the letters, I just want to keep talking about that for just a minute. You really, if you overwhelm one side, like a great example would be, well, the other letters on Raven's map. So G and let's see, I think A and B and E and F, I believe, are the ones where they're actually in the same building. There's one building that has two smaller buildings in it, or two rooms with the letters. If you take your whole platoon and bum rush one letter and take it and hold it for a couple seconds, and then move slowly your guys to the next letter, you can easily take them both. And the longer you have letters held, the damage fills up, and one platoon can really make a difference if you're doing a really good job at holding your letters. So that's it, guys. I hope you made it through the whole video, because it was a long one, I know, but Mag's a long games. That's part of the draw for me, at least. It's immersive, it's fun. And a real quick before we go here, guys, I'm curious. I want to know what factions you guys are in. I know that Valor has been losing players lately, and that's just going through a little bit of a struggle. So I'm curious if you guys want to post down in the comment section what faction you're on, and if you plan on veteraning over to a different faction, or if you plan on staying with the faction you're on. Like, I'm on Valor. I love Valor. My clan's on Valor, so I'm not leaving Valor. But that's me, so I'm just curious as to what you guys are at. So thanks a lot, guys, and that's it. Later.